Hey guys, welcome to another video, and I'm going to be talking about Thor: Love and Thunder. Yes, the second trailer came out for Thor: Love and Thunder, and it's much worse for me. People are saying it's better. People are saying, "Oh, this movie's gonna be great." It's another Thor movie, another Taika Waititi Thor collaboration film. I'll admit, I actually had a lot of fun with Thor Ragnarok. I think it has its issues, and I think the comedy overpowers the actual overall plot of the story. I don't like Valkyrie as a character, but Thor was good. Hulk was enjoyable. I love Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster. There was a lot of great jokes in it too. Introduced us to Korg. This trailer shows that the movie is a lot about Thor and Jane Foster as her Thor. Some people are saying it's going to be a romance movie. That's fine, I guess, but I'm going to talk about why I'm worried about this movie. Because, I'm so worried about this film. I was never excited for the movie to begin with. As soon as I heard the announcement and Taika Waititi did the bowing and passed the torch to Natalie Portman, I was very worried about this movie because I don't want to see that. And I know in the comic books, Jane Foster Thor is the thing, but just because it sucks in the comics doesn't mean you have to make it into the movies. I know everyone's like, "Whoa, it's in the comics." I'm like, yeah, it was terrible in the comics, and it's probably going to be terrible in the movies. Well, I can't just assume that. I have to watch the movie first, obviously, but Jane Foster is never a good Thor. Never. In the comics. Never captivating Thor. Didn't give a rat's ass about her. And a lot of fans didn't either. So, yeah. Even the comics didn't do that well. There's only one Thor, and that's Thor. There's another, mutant Thor. That's pretty cool. But Thor is Thor. Jane Foster is not Thor. And I am so scared that this movie is going to be like a bait and switch. And, I don't want that. Please don't do that. People are worried that they're going to do that with the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I'm worried too, but people are worried that Thor: Love and Thunder is going to be Thor's movie for the first half, then it's going to be Jane Foster's movie. But you don't know. I don't think that's going to be the case, but it is a worry. And I'm also worried that Jane Foster, she's going to be a Mary Sue. We've seen Mary Sue so far. We saw it in Captain Marvel. We saw it with Rey in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. We don't want another Mary Sue character. We don't want just this powerful female character who never struggles and never goes through anything, never loses a fight and everything. She's just a badass female character. That's all she is. That's all I got from Valkyrie. There was nothing to her. Yeah, she was a Valkyrie who was fallen and she became a drunk, but that's really it. She never loses a fight in Thor Ragnarok, and I hope we don't get that with Jane Foster. I hope we saw her destroy a monster in the trailer, and he's like, "Oh, that's your first fight." I'm like, "Okay, her first fight, she's victorious." Usually, a first fight you're not victorious, but she's victorious. So I just don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with Jane Foster as a character. And I don't know, is there going to be a woman power thing with her and Valkyrie and stuff? I don't want them to, I don't know, the whole movie, them two are the smart ones, and Thor's an idiot, and he's a man, he's always, thinking with his muscles and not his brains and stuff. I don't want to see any of that bullshit. So, yeah, I just don't want to see it. And I love that there's a double standards also in this movie, because there's a scene where Zeus rips the clothes off Thor, and Jane Foster and Valkyrie are ooh, yeah, and they're eating grapes, ooh, you're not gonna help him, just stare at his naked body. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm not offended by that. I'm just saying there's a double standard, because if the roles were reversed, and let's just say there was a scene where Valkyrie's clothes got ripped off, and it's Thor and Iron Man, they're "Oh, yeah, we're not going to help her. Let's just stare at her naked body." Everyone would be losing their minds. Everyone would be "Oh, that's sexist. Now you're just using her as a sex object." People would freak out. And "Oh, that's not good. That's not..." People would lose their minds. But when it's a guy, it's okay. But if it's a female, it's not okay. Double standards. So yeah, I just no. That's I don't like that. However, we got Russell Crowe as Zeus. That's pretty good. I love that casting. Huge Russell Crowe fan. So, and we got Christian Bale as Gore. His name is. Not very familiar with him. He doesn't look like he does in the comic books, but I'm okay with that. I really am. I'm fine with that. Some people are saying he looks like Voldemort if he had HIV. That's funny, but Christian Bale's a good actor. So I think he will give a good performance. So I'm not worried about his character, actually. I think Christian Bale can do a good job. So another thing I'm worried about is that this movie is going to be the end of Thor. I could be wrong. Like, I don't want to see this happen. But if they kill Thor, Chris Hemsworth in this movie, and they just make Jane Foster the new Thor, I'm not for it. Or if Thor just leaves for good, and again he passes the torch to Jane Foster, again, I'm not really for that. I don't give a rat's ass about Jane Foster. We haven't followed Jane Foster throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We've been following Thor in his journey. And we just want to see Thor doing Thor stuff, like his story and stuff. And I love that there was no Guardians of the Galaxy in this trailer, in the new trailer. They were in the first trailer. It sounds weird. So it's like this. The first and second trailer were just so different. And the Guardians of the Galaxy were like really big in that trailer. I'm like, so are the Guardians of the was the first trailer just the first act of the movie? And if that's the case, I think the first act of the movie is going to be the best part of the movie. Because I wanted Thor and Love and Thunder just to be about Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy. I would love a whole movie about that. Just Thor with the Guardians doing like a mission and a journey together. I want to see that. That looks fun to me. Thor on a journey with Valkyrie and Jane doesn't seem fun or interesting. I don't like that. But Thor and the Guardians with Gamora and Quill and Drax and Mantis and Rocket and Groot, that's a fun time. That's a really fun time. With the two Mary Sues, no, not so much. So, very worried that this movie is going to be a kind of cringe fest, maybe a lot more comedy than plot, kind of like Ragnarok, but who knows. And I don't know where they're going with this, but I'm a little scared. Very scared. I don't know how they're gonna end this. This movie. Is Loki gonna show up? Like, who knows? I don't know, but I don't know. I'm not excited for it. I'm just saying if they make this movie a bait and switch, or if they make the female characters just like they're more stronger, smarter, wiser than Thor, and all they do is like, oh, Thor's an idiot and stuff, I'm going to be annoyed as well, and I don't know. I want more Guardians of the Galaxy. Am I alone on this? Let me know in the comment section below. Are you worried about Thor: Love and Thunder, or do you think this movie's great and I shouldn't be worried? This movie's going to deliver. Let me know in the comment section below. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and join the dark side.